Last but not least, I'm going to invite Nicholas Sue to the stage. Please give him a round of applause as he comes out. All right, so I'm going to show you Nick's stats real quick, as I've done for the two others, and then I'll get into some questions for Nick. So Nick has also predicted a perfect score on the IB for the Nick's SAT is also the highest in his class, 1570 out of 1600. He had near perfect IGCSE, 9 A stars or 9s with 1 A, so just one grade, the second highest grade possible. It's also worthy of applause in my opinion, Nick. And he is our head of college, which in another school might be called like class president or president of student council or head boy or something like that. So here at Wellington is head of college. And he is admitted to Oxford with a full scholarship. He's also admitted to California Institute of Technology, also called Caltech. And he is also admitted to the University of Pennsylvania, the third of the Ivy League schools that I mentioned earlier, among others. So, Nick, thank you very much. Let's talk about a couple of things. Okay. You probably don't know this about Nick, is that Nick is, or maybe you do, I hope you do, but you're gonna know right now, is that one of Nick's biggest things is he loves research. He loves doing research. He's thinking about as a career, researching as a career, finding new things, innovating. So I'd like to give him a chance today to tell you, the audience, what kinds of research have you done over the last couple of years?
Well, can you guys hear me? So for research, I was initially more interested in kind of physics-oriented things, kind of exploring things in terms of from the fundamental level. And like gradually, as I've done more like competitions and I read more books about different subjects, I became more interested in chemistry. You know, I've in exploring science generally, just for fun. I've come across, I did the physics Olympiad back a few years ago, and chemistry and biology Olympiads. And biology, I don't take it at IB level, but I also did the Olympiad, and I got goals for all of them. But it's the point for reading widely in these sciences is trying to understand the connections in between them. And once I understand the connections between photophysics, in medicinal chemistry, and synthetic organic chemistry, I became interested in my own research. I was like, hey, I could kind of do this, and this will be something that no one has ever done before. So what I did to kind of explore my interests, I remember I asked you to help me apply for a few summer programs in year 11, and I was like, hey, these summer programs might help me because I hear on WeChat, you know, people do these summer programs. And I got into one of them, it was Pioneer, and but then I took a look at their research and I was like, really, it's not quite what I was looking for. It's not new. It's just teaching you how to use the software, and it's just very low level research. So what I did that summer was I read up on lots of literature. I went through graduate level textbooks. I went through reading reviews, reading articles, and out of all that, the next summer I tried getting research internships at a lot of different universities. To my knowledge, in the U.S., there are more opportunities for kids to just go to like university professors or any summer program to go, hey, I want to do this research and this opportunity will be open for you. But it's not quite in China. There's not that much of environment, so I ended up sending over like 200, 300 emails to different professors being like, hey, I read this paper that you've written on this subject. I have an idea. Can you please fund my research? And out of the hundreds and hundreds of emails I've sent, one professor replied me. I'm very grateful to him. It was during the summer of 2021. I ended up going there for 2 months. It was very intense, exploring my own kind of research direction. I have my own hood. I was fully funded by the university, by him, and I was able to have 2 projects to be published on top international journals on photoredox catalysis and their application in medicinal chemistry. So for these 2 months, Well, it was kind of hectic. I think I told you about. I think Mr. Beard knows how much I've tried to get this kind of experience. As we know, 2022, the few months before the summer, my parents were out of town. I was living alone in Shanghai, and then the professor was like, "Hey, are you actually going to come? Shanghai's in lockdown. There's no way for you to get there." And I'm like, "No, I really want to go. I really want to go." And then, so I ended up, traveling myself to Hangzhou, and then quarantined myself for 2 months. Sorry, not 2 months, not 2 months, 2 weeks. And then I went to the university, and I was there for 2 months, Monday to Saturday, from 8 in the morning to usually past 12 at night. So it was a Common App essay. I asked Mr. Beard, would they believe 78 hours a week? But it was through that kind of intense training that I was able to immerse myself in chemistry and immerse myself in my own research and be able to do something. The first week I made the first synthetic product of my research, and I was like, hey, no one has ever been able to make this product in the entire world ever, and I'm the first person to make it. This is really cool. I'm going to continue doing this. And so throughout the entire journey, it was like using my knowledge that I've gained over the years, reading about things I'm interested in, exploring different topics. I think maybe Daniel's walking, but he's been a very good friend that I met here at Wellington, and he's one of the biggest inspirations on how I approach knowledge and how I approach learning. Oh, I know James is here. How I approach learning, it's like you're interested in this, you read about it, and then ideas about research, ideas of how you want to do research will come along the way. And that's interesting for me. And from that point back, actually, I also undertook a project in school. It's slightly hard because it's hard to get chemicals around here, so because people think you're trying to make drugs. I ended up also spending a long time trying to find chemicals that I can actually get and come up with a research project. And I ended up synthesizing a novel penicillin antibiotic that was featured on the UN Asia Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development. And so it's something I'm interested in, and I've been lucky to have my work recognized in different journals and different forums. And so, yeah, that's my research journey. It's a little scattered.
It's pretty amazing. It's amazing. And the fact that I can't understand most of the things you say when you talk about it is a testament to that. Now, that's a perfect segue to the next question, which is to talk about the Global Student STEM Conferences. So tell the audience, what are these conferences?
Well, this is one of the kind of initiatives that I've done outside of school. So actually, how did I come about doing this was initially I took part in the founding of the Cosmos Debate Championship, even though it doesn't sound related, but trust me, it's kind of related. It was founded by another student, a high school student like me. He wanted to make these kind of global debate championships that were accessible to everyone for free, and they were moderated and it's done online. It went huge during the pandemic, and I was lucky to be the founding associate director of East Asia for him. The guy, John, he's currently at UPenn, and he was an excellent leader for us. And from working with him and from growing the debate competition that's founded by high school students into one of the largest debate competitions, the most international debate competition in the entire world right now, is kind of how do we start something for yourself for people to use as a resource, right? And how do I kind of lead a team of high school students, because I can't pay you guys. So how do I lead a group of high school students that have similar passions and to accomplish something that people have been trying to do for a long time. So what I ended up doing for Global STEM Conferences was I had a passion in outreach, and before this, I think later I'll talk about my roles as head of college and in outreach with that. I've always been inspired by kind of outreach, and then I think one summer I interned one time I interned at, no, I was an intern, I was a tutor, I was a teacher at a cram school back in Taiwan where I'm from. And from there I kind of realized, hey, I'm interested in research. I'm interested in exploring these kind of topics outside of school. But so many kids, especially in Asia, I've realized, are quite limited and quite pigeonholed into different kind of rote memorized subjects and kind of exam-oriented learning. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to create an online platform that's free for everyone, that people can come in contact. For example, for me, if create a platform, if I was a student myself back then, I could just come on this platform, come to one of the conferences, meet a professor from Harvard Medical School, from MIT. We have speakers from CERN, one of the people who discovered the Higgs boson. We have people coming from MIT, from Harvard Medical School, Columbia, Oxford. We're sponsored by the Cambridge Center for International Research. So students can come to our conference and be like, hey, I want to meet these pioneers in research and I want to do work with them, I want to learn from them. And so this is one avenue that the conference can help people and how I envisioned that. The other way was kind of provide different competitions. Most recently, we had a project-based kind of research competition where people submitted kind of their own research paper, their own kind of investigations into different ideas, and then those were judged by our team and a panel from Cambridge. So that was an amazing experience. And again, we also have debating challenges. We also have debate tournaments, that are more oriented towards debate, because usually we know that, when we talk about debates, usually policy, whether we should do this, whether we should do this. But they're usually not STEM oriented, and STEM kids like me, for myself, taking part, again, with Daniel, in the Cambridge British Parliamentary debate competition, winning a gold. It's not kind of typical for STEM students to do this, and we kind of want to make it this way. We kind of want to, encourage people in STEM speaking out, talking about their research, talking about the ethics of their research, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of resources. There's a lot of opportunities that we provide. There's different student panels. The last conference, we had over 650 registrants from 40 different countries, and they came in and they were able to also interact with each other and also explore different ideas. So it's a very wonderful opportunity, and it's still out there. I haven't been able to run another conference early this year yet. I've been trying to pass it on towards our next cohort, my team of wonderful people that are working on global student STEM conferences. The new leader of which is also in Wellington, Nathan. He's also here, but he's wonderful, and he's also led part of our project-based competition for our last conference. So he's demonstrated very good leadership, and I kind of see myself in him, and I kind of want this to keep as a legacy. And this has been a wonderful opportunity to do, and I really wanted to.
You already alluded to it, but I'm just going to put it up right now. So, as head of college, why did you want that position? And what do you feel like you tried to contribute, or you contribute to the community?
So as the head of college, for example, for STEM conferences, for the Beyond Horizon tutoring opportunities that I've started here at Wellington, I didn't quite need the role to do it, and that was kind of my central idea of kind of leadership. You don't really need a title to start anything. For global student STEM conferences, it was just me. I asked my mom for like a couple hundred RMB so I could buy the website, and I learned how to code it myself, and I recruited the team myself. I sent people emails for collaborations myself. We don't need the roles, and I think if you're a student in the audience, which I can't really see because I'm very nearsighted, if you're a student in the audience, the thing you should take away from this is that you really don't need a role, you don't need recognition to start something, to do something in the school. And apart from that, as head of college, you could do things. For example, it was easier to get into contact with teachers when me and my friend, we started the Wellington Science Journal in school, to work on Science Week, to help Mr. O'Brien with kind of different initiatives to do with kind of charity, mental health, stuff like that. And so And also, I got to talk to our headmaster about esports, which was fun for some people during quarantine. You know, as head of college, it's a fun role to do. It's very versatile. You can really do whatever you want, and it's an opportunity. People should apply more to it. We've just interviewed a new cohort, and I think Mr. Beard also alluded to it. We're having a new cohort of head of colleges coming in, so be nice to them. They're very nice people, and I'm sure they'll accomplish as much as we do.
Can you please give Nick a round of applause to say thank you for sharing? You're gonna